Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes or Arsenal's Martin Ødegaard? So, Michael Lahoud, you are making the case today for Bruno Fernandes, and Julia Lanning-Baba, you will be making the case for Martin Ødegaard. You have 20 seconds to make your point.
Thank you.
And no more than that. You got it?
Yeah,
or else you're going to hear a little this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, we can
I like that.
Judge Jillian.
Yes, I chose to let you finish speaking while he interrupted you. So please, Lahoud, if you will.
Oh, man, lawyers get paid to interrupt, and I'm going to lay the law down for this guy in Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes, when it comes to goal contributions, that's what we're going to talk about first.
Yes, correct.
There is
goal
no conversation. That fella Martin Ødegaard there, he's got almost 4 times the amount of goals in just the Premier League alone. And then in all competitions, we're talking about double the assists, in the Premier League. In all competitions and goal contributions, this is a guy, Bruno Fernandes, that in the last, let's say, month and a half to 2 months, he has been exceptional, and he has been a force to be reckoned with. Martin Ødegaard, yes, he's elegant. He can create chances. He's almost like he walks on water. But this guy right here, he is Manchester United Football Club. Without him, especially without his presence in the final third, I cringe to think where the club would be and where Ruben Amorim would be. But Bruno Fernandes, he is an attacking force, the better player by far.
Are we giving him more than 20 seconds? I'm just saying that was beautiful, but I felt like we gave you a nice amount of time there. So let's make sure that I'm just going to use this gun. Julia, we give Julia the same amount of time.
How about we make sure that we stick to the rules?
Leather folder, nice touch.
So when we are talking about Bruno Fernandes being Manchester United, what does that even mean? Is that something that you would want to be proud of at this moment in time? Well, I would prefer to walk on water. How many people follow somebody who has done that in the past? When you look at Martin Ødegaard and you're talking about goal contributions, you have to consider the style of play. Manchester United, I don't know what their style of play is. But when you look at Arsenal, I know exactly what their style of play is, and they rely on wing progressions to score goals. You have Bukayo Saka, who leads the team in 7 crosses per game. That's 3rd in the Prem, and that's where a lot of the assists come from. But when you talk about passes into the final third, very few, if any, players in the Prem that do that better than Martin Ødegaard. So before you can get to where you score your goals, it has to come through Martin Ødegaard. And last point here is that he does it against teams that really count. Scoring goals against City, getting assists against Tottenham, making sure that he elevates his team up the table, one thing that Bruno Fernandes cannot say.
Wow. You guys, I don't even need this thing. Forget it. All right. I don't know. 2 good arguments. Next up, leadership.
Oh.
Leadership.
Leadership. This is exactly where I appreciate you for delivering me, Your Honor. What we are going to talk about here is being of the highest order of character. That is what any captain is tasked. And especially if you want to be one of the best attacking midfielders in the Prem and you are the captain, is it possible to be an outstanding leader but also lead the Premiership in red cards? I don't think that that is something that somebody would also say is synonymous with an excellent leader. Martin Ødegaard is not only a player that every single thing, like I said, that Arsenal does flows through, he also makes sure that their standards stay very high in terms of etiquette, making sure that they are the team that, you know, are always competing for titles in recent days. And the last thing that I'll say about leadership as far as Martin Ødegaard is concerned, he has been the captain for the 3 best seasons that Arsenal has ever had since the Invincibles.
Yeah, we talk about competing for titles. They haven't won anything under Martin Ødegaard as captain. So the title conversation is squashed. When I think of leadership, you talk about red cards. So is Roy Keane a bad leader because of his red cards? Roy Keane is arguably the greatest captain to ever grace the Premier League. Yes, red cards, they've been an issue for Bruno, but that ship has come and sailed. This is a guy, when you look at his attributes, match winner, goal scorer, assist getter, leader. We call him Captain Fantastic because psychologically, he's had to weather some really, really brutal storms at this football club. Think of how many managers in just the last 3 seasons alone he's had to put up with. He's had to come in and come out of. And still leading this club to how many trophies, Jaleel, in that time? Is it 2? Martin Ødegaard, how many trophies did he win as a captain? 0. And we get to goal contributions, and I go back to that. This guy's outperformed Martin Ødegaard in terms of goals every single season.
Can we
please? He's been captain. Leader and goal scorer.
I gave you a lot of extra time. A lot of extra
Can we please make sure that we stick to the rules here? That seems to be something that your captain struggles with very, very much.
Hey, he's got trophies in his bag.
Finally, what is asked of them in their system? So who's executing better, Michael?
It's got to be Bruno Fernandes.
Why?
Martin Ødegaard isn't asked to defend in the same way that Bruno has. Martin Ødegaard is not asked to do half of what Bruno Fernandes has to do. So I'm going to drop a little nugget on you. When we talk about this 3-4-3 formation with Manchester United and Ruben Amorim, Bruno Fernandes, I said that his best position was going to be as a box-to-box midfielder, not as one of the front three or one of the wide forwards. Now, in this position, right now, since he's started playing there, Bruno Fernandes is 3rd in terms of ball recoveries in the Premier League. You would never even believe that or guess that. He is putting in a shift on both sides of the ball, and we have not just Ruben Amorim, we have so many people in the Premier League saying if Manchester United and other teams had more Brunos, then your stock as a club would be that much better. This is a guy that's a complete midfielder, and in my opinion, right now, he's outperforming every other midfielder, including Martin Ødegaard, in the Premier League.
So we're going back to the start, Your Honor. We're going back to the fact that Martin Ødegaard.
Man United 4-1 Real Sociedad 5-2 AG Bruno Fernandes scores hat-trick as Red Devils progress to Europa League quarter-finals after much improved display. Old Trafford rocked and roared as Manchester United climbed off the canvas to keep their Europa League hopes and season alive on Thursday night. Neither wants to go quietly, it seems. For this wonderful old place, the day of reckoning won't come for another 5 years, probably longer, following this week's unveiling of a new €2 billion stadium to be built next door. But this was a reminder to cherish Old Trafford on nights like these. A goal down to Real Sociedad and in danger of going out of the Europa League, they rallied to produce arguably their best performance under Ruben Amorim. Having conceded another penalty from Mikel Oyarzabal penalty, United hit back with 2 of their own through Bruno Fernandes, who then completed a hat-trick late on. Their captain has now scored 15 goals this season and converted from the spot 36 times out of 40 for the club. Bruno Fernandes scored a superb hat-trick as Manchester United beat Real Sociedad 4-1. It means Fernandes and his teammates still have something to play for, with Lyon next in the quarter-finals of this competition next month. So poor in the Premier League this season, they remain undefeated in Europe under Erik ten Hag, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Amorim. Bruno is the perfect captain for us, said the United boss. We need to help him win titles because he deserves it. Fernandes was superb, but there were so many good performances here, notably from Joshua Zirkzee, Patrick Dorgu, Alejandro Garnacho and Aiden Heaven on his full debut. Casemiro, one of the players singled out by Sir Jim Ratcliffe this week for being overpaid or not good enough, also had his best game for Amorim. I think he is improving his game and I am improving the way I should use a player like Casemiro, admitted the head coach. The only thing missing from a great night at Old Trafford was a goal for Rasmus Højlund, whose barren run has now extended to just short of 22 hours. The Dane was desperate to end it here, screaming to the heavens in frustration when he nudged the ball wide from Xerxes' cross in the first half. United had fallen behind when Matthijs de Ligt gave away a penalty by fouling Mikel Oyarzabal. Oyarzabal sent Andre Onana the wrong way to get United off to the worst possible start, but United fought back and Fernandes levelled from the spot as he led from the front. The United skipper scored a second penalty after Patrick Dorgu was fouled inside the area. Højlund put his body on the line for his team at one point, taking a punch in the head from goalkeeper Alex Ramiro, then getting up to leave. Igor Zubeldia with a bloodied mouth with a handoff moments later and actually played well. But he looks absolutely shorn of confidence in front of goal. We are here for each other, said Fernandes. Strikers are all about goals, and we can see how much he wants to score. I'm sure the goals will come. With the score level at 1-1 from the first leg in last week, Sociedad went ahead in the 10th minute from the second of 4 penalties scored in this tie. Once again it was spotted by VAR after Fernandes was penalized for an innocuous handball in San Sebastian. Matthijs de Ligt cleared Aritz Elastundo's cross in front of goal, but replays showed that he got Oyarzabal first and the Sociedad skipper got up to score again after VAR advised French referee Benoit Bastien to go to the monitor. The noise inside Old Trafford rose significantly and United responded. 3 minutes later they had a penalty of their own, converted by Fernandes after he squared to Hodgland in front of goal and the Dane was sent sprawling by Igor Zubeldia as he tried to end his drought. United were ahead on the night and on aggregate 5 minutes after the interval, and again it came from the spot. John Aramburu was sent off in the second half when he brought down the lively Dorgu. Fernandes capped off a stunning display with a brilliant third goal to secure United's victory. Diogo Dalot added the gloss on the night in added time after a much improved United display. It felt like a soft one as Dorgu ran into Elizondo after Ramiro had saved one-handed from Xerxes, and he even said as much to the referee. Did Amram approve of that? It is the right thing to do, so I am quite proud of him. But I cannot say if I'd have the same response if it had been 0-0 or we were losing, he smiled. Fernandes sent Ramiro the wrong way again and the contest swung even further in United's favor in the 63rd minute when Sociedad were reduced to 10 men. Substitute John Aramburu had only been on the pitch 6 minutes when he hauled down Dorgu as he raced clear onto Xerxes' through ball and off he went.